Did you hear me?
But
I wonder if we're sideways for anyone who's watching, but we'll ask once someone joins. If anyone ever joins.
well, I know you're on today, so probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sideways. we're gonna have
Okay.
to we're gonna have to
I
do
wonder
it
if
this way.
that's fine.
Yeah, it's sideways. we're gonna
Okay.
have to we're gonna have to
Sorry, I that was my bad. It's just easier for my phone to be up on my thing, so
We're still getting used to this, guys. Hang on. Alrighty. Now I could cover up Scout's face and I don't have to look at her. Alright.
yay.
It's funny, in this perspective, we have the same hair.
No, we don't have the same hair. I style mine and I take care of mine. And mine's a lot more brown now. It's not as black. But
I
that's
take
also
care
because
of my
like
hair.
it's also because of the light. And I'm also wearing a black shirt, so it's really
Hello,
blinding.
hunted by stingrays. Good to see you. Everybody come on in and say hello.
It's a weird name. No offense, but that's a weird name. Sounds like a
Stingrays
bad
kill
dream.
people.
Oh yeah, I know. Like, oh, that one guy.
Steve Irwin?
Yeah, I knew it was Steve something. I almost said Steve Colbert, but that's a different guy.
Yeah, that's a completely different guy.
Ah, I see. I lived in Florida and I always went to the beach and I luckily never got stung.
That's too bad.
It's too bad that I didn't get stung. Okay. If one ever stings me, I'll try to eat it.
I look thinner. Thanks, High Car Beth.
I also look thinner. Just kidding.
You're looking a little bloated today, actually.
Yeah, I know. I just ate.
All
Oh,
that rice
Clearwater?
and carbs.
I've been to Clearwater like once, but I lived in Jacksonville and Tampa like forever ago.
It's funny, everybody keeps saying that I look skinnier and stuff, but since I started working there, I did lose weight at first, but then now we're eating donuts and eating out for lunch every day. So I haven't
Who's
done too
we?
well.
You and
Everybody
what
at my
army?
at my office, everybody
Oh,
at the office,
everybody is?
everybody. Yep.
Okay, I totally believe you. Today I finally did my parents just got a hex bar for like working out and stuff. Do you know what that is?
No.
It's basically like instead of using a bar and putting weights on to squat with, it's like something that goes all the way around you and you hold it. Anyways, I tried it for the first time and I'm gonna be sore tomorrow because I've done it before, but it's just been such a long time.
Hmm. Hi, Bonita. Hi, Brunk Dark Tender. Dark. I know how to say that, but my brain is warped today. Brunk
Central
Dark
PA,
Tender.
huh?
Hope
Yeah,
you're
I
all
lived
having
a
a
lot of
wonderful
places.
day today. It is Wednesday. It's our Big Talks with Big T day, and today I have my special friend Scout joining us today. She's very,
Hello.
very special.
Yeah, in a good way. I can see you. I don't have to hear you, but I can see you, kind of.
You can't hear me? Good.
I can read your mouth though.
Are you serious? You can't hear me? Or are you making that up?
Yes, I can hear you.
I figured you were messing with me.
Hi, Bonita. Yeah, I usually always come on the show, and I always am great.
Because I'm not special enough to have too many great guests yet. I mean, I've had a few, Starzan last week. I've had Megan Ann. I've had Kayla on. But those are the
Mhm.
only great guests I've had, and then I have to like fill in the gaps with Scout. So
It's just because I only have like 621 subs, you know? But also, I've been busy. You like great? Wait, what is that? What does that mean? Like great what? Great episodes?
all right, guys, we have 13 people watching right now. If you can go ahead and like hit the like button on this, maybe we'll get a few. If you hear any kind of like white noise in my background, it's because it's on my computer. So it's probably just my fan. It'll kick on every once in a while. So I apologize ahead of time. Me and Scout are both very tired. My work schedule has been crazy and making YouTube videos, and she's working through finals right now. So we are both pretty mentally drained and
Which is the
physically.
perfect time to do this.
Yeah, perfect timing to do this. But she'll be on her summer break here pretty soon, and hopefully things slow down for me just a little bit. I don't know when, but I'm thankful for a 3-day Memorial Day weekend, though. That'd be great.
Yeah, but I just, have like 2 or 3 months off. So,
Lucky. I remember those days.
hey, I'm gonna be working a lot though, because I start shadowing for I just became a swim instructor. So I'm really excited because that means I get to be active, I get to swim because I'm a really good swimmer. I love teaching kids. I just love helping people and blah blah blah. So it'll be great. I just hate lifeguarding, so I went with the other option, which I get paid more for. So
Well, lifeguarding, you just sit there and watch people swim, right?
yeah, but then you also have to do so many more tests, like monthly. Like you have to swim under a certain amount of time to like make sure that you're still in shape, which obviously wouldn't be hard for me. It's just I don't like all that extra stuff that comes with it.
Yeah.
Pool stuff is really annoying.
So let's get a job at it.
Yep, because I got silent fired from my other one. I still didn't technically quit from that job. I don't think at this point it's even necessary because it's not like they were gonna ask me to come back.
Hi, Darla. Good to see you. Hello, Ralph. All right, so I guess we'll get started here. We got 10 people watching. I was hoping we'd get a few more, but I guess people knew Scout would be on, so.
I think it's just because we did this a lot later for a lot of people,
Hmm.
so they might be asleep.
Maybe.
That's what I saw some comments on the post. Some people were
Because
saying they
Big
couldn't make it.
T is worldwide right now. So, like, most of my audience is in bed right now.
Yeah, it's not me, it's just the time, which I guess is still my fault.
I don't know. We might move it. Like, I'm finding Wednesdays aren't like the best days to do this. So, not too many people are on Wednesdays. Like, I get more people when I do a quick lunch live than I do on Wednesday night. So,
Yeah, it's just kinda like in the middle of the week. Maybe you should start doing them on Saturdays.
yeah, I might do that.
Friday nights or Saturdays.
That's awesome, Beth. You volunteered at the church food bank this week, twice this week. All right, let's get started. Scout, I'm sure a lot of my uh, followers know you, but if you want to introduce yourself again, go ahead.
Okay, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Scout. My YouTube channel is called Nightlight. I also do a lot of reactions to fat acceptance, and I've also dove into a few other topics, but mainly focused on fat acceptance. So my channel is a lot better than Big T. So if you want to go sub, maybe check out my videos, that would be greatly appreciated.
I put the link to your channel there. So,
Sweet. Okay,
but
I'm
whatever you
ready.
do, don't click on it. Don't go to her channel. It's just
I'm his
full of
favorite.
nonsense.
It's better. My editing's so much better, and it's people. Everyone was saying my last video was super funny and made them laugh, so that
It's
was
kind
definitely
of
my
fun.
funniest. You just got to get used to it, Bonita. That's what's gonna happen when he brings me on here. He's just asking for it. Thank you. I
All right,
make
guys.
myself
So
laugh.
we're talking about the New York fat discrimination bill that they just passed, and I just found an article on it. I'm going to kind of go through it here. I'm going to switch the perspective on my screen. We can kind of read through it if it'll let me switch. There we go.
This is the New
New
York
York
Times one.
City. No, this is CBS New York.
Okay.
I figured I'd do that one instead.
Mhm.
But it's New York City Council passes bill banning weight discrimination in jobs, housing, and public accommodation. Scroll down a little bit. It says discriminating against someone because of weight when it comes to work, housing, or public accommodation would be barred in New York City under a bill passed Thursday by the City Council. The measure would amend city law to add weight and height to the list of identifiers that are considered protected, like race, sexual orientation, gender identity, and national origin. People with different body types are not only denied jobs and promotions that they deserve, like, yeah, right off the bat, I'm already laughing at this one, that they deserve. Their whole existence has also been denied by a society that has offered no legal remedy for this prejudice, said Council Member Sean Abreu, who sponsored the legislation. He said New York would join a handful of cities in the country with similar protections. Michigan, oh crap, is the only state with a law that expressly bans weight discrimination, while in Washington state, a court ruled that obesity is covered under the anti discrimination law for employees with disabilities. So, and Tina Turner died today.
Oh, I don't know who that is. Uh,
But So, what do you think about this line? People of different body types are not only denied jobs and promotions that they deserve, their whole existence has been denied by a society that has offered no legal remedy for this prejudice.
okay. Um, First of all, this society has made fat people mainstream. Like you can't have any piece of media that's like doesn't include them anymore, especially in like the fashion industry. And in my opinion, I think um some plus size models I feel like don't bother me as much. Like Tess Holiday bothers me because that's just unrealistic. And that's unrealistic. It's unhealthy. You should not glorify that. But someone who's like maybe an extra large or like kind of up like in between, like maybe extra large or 2XL, I feel like isn't as offensive to me. Just because you kind of have to have a bit of a range because people they're just bigger sometimes. Like, like Samoans, anyone like Native Islanders, those guys, they get huge, but that's mostly genetics.
Hmm.
Um, and as for the emphasis on like what they deserve, I've said before on my channel, that in my opinion, I don't think people inherently deserve anything they haven't worked towards. I know you guys have like natural rights, blah blah blah. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about God-given rights. I'm talking about like, for example, a promotion. Because sure, if you're fat and you think you've done all that's required of you to get a promotion, but like if the promotion is something that you can't handle at your weight, why would they give it to you when they could give it to someone who could do it without being held back? Because I'm thinking of, I mentioned before that I was a lifeguard. If if a morbidly obese person wanted to become a lifeguard, I seriously doubt they would be hired because the training is very physical. You have to be very physically fit for the job. If you cannot swim like 200 meters in under 10 minutes, then you can't stay a lifeguard.
Yeah. I mean, like with my current job right now, like mentally, it's like a very mental job. It's not very physical at all. So if they wanted to give me a promotion because they felt I was doing really well, I was handling the work, I was getting through it very fast, like that's great. Like mentally, I could handle the workload. I'm doing well with it. Then after some time, sure, I deserve a promotion. But if it was a physically laborious job and I was lagging behind and I wasn't able to keep up with it, but I was going to demand a promotion and say, I deserve this promotion, even though I wasn't able to do as much of the work as other smaller people were able to do because I was
Mhm.
physically unfit to do it. Like, that's absolutely preposterous that I would demand a raise at that point. I
Yeah,
would
and it
not deserve it.
yeah, and now this bill, it's not even a bill, it's just an amendment to a bill that's already existed,
Hmm.
that it just adds on weight and height to something that already existed. And, um, it's like private businesses can do whatever they want, but now this bill opens up the way for people to sue them if they think that they're being discriminated against because of their weight. And that's just a waste of time on both people's parts because the private company can just say it they didn't hire you for any other reason still. Like it's still people are still gonna not be hired because of their weight, but they could just say, we're already fully staffed or we're just gonna keep looking, you
Yep.
know? Like they don't have to say it's because of your weight, even if it is.
Yeah,
So
I
now
agree with you, Benita, that anything job related should be performance based.
yeah,
I mean,
that is any job. Like why would people keep you on if you're not good at your job? I
I
mean,
just don't see very many employers who are going to be like, "You're fat, so we're going to keep a promotion from you." It's like I've always been able to get employed in jobs that I've been able to do, and I've been kept away from jobs I couldn't physically do. Like I couldn't think of an entire er, circumstance in my life where somebody was like, "You're fat, so we're just not gonna hire you, even though I could do the job," type thing. You
yeah,
know?
exactly. Mhm. And now they like, I don't think that's really ever happened, and I always try to not say, like, absolute, like, that's never happened, but
Yeah,
that just seems
I'm
like
sure
such
it
a
has.
niche problem. Like, it doesn't happen that often. Like, sure, people don't get hired for their because of their weight, but the employers don't say it's because of your weight. And it's the same thing with calling people fat because fat acceptance is trying to, like, take back the word fat, but if you walk up to anyone in real life and call them fat to their face, they're gonna be offended.
Hi, Billy Joe. Welcome to the chat. Good to see you. So at what point then are they going to start saying it's discrimination? Like they could just easily throw that word out there if
Yeah,
they don't get what
exactly.
they want. You know,
People are not yeah,
if they don't
yeah,
get the benefits they don't want, if they don't get the salary that they want, all this stuff. Like now they have an excuse to say, well, it's discrimination, and they could sue their boss and get things they really don't deserve.
exactly. It's just opening the door for people to point fingers, like, eh, I don't know. I can't say that it's, like, an unconstitutional addition to whatever bill that was originally, but, um, it just doesn't seem right or safe because now you can just say anything is discrimination and sue people for it, and all you have to do is say that they discriminated against you.
Yep. Like I said in one of the last videos that I did, it's like all those other things you cannot control: your race, your national origin, all those things, your sexual orientation, your height. Like that should be part of it. You shouldn't be discriminated because of your height. But in the same way, if your job is reaching high shelves, you're not going to hire a short person to do that job. Like it wouldn't make
Yeah,
sense.
and
But at the
also
same time, like you cannot control your height. All of the
mhm,
rest of the things on that list are legit things that we should not discriminate people for. But
I was gonna
weight
say oh,
is the one thing that you can control. And if you want to get a better job, maybe you should focus on bettering yourself to be in a better position to do a specific job that you wouldn't think that you could probably do.
yeah, sorry, I talk over people a lot, but, I was gonna I was gonna say there's also always another job out there for you. I'm not saying, like, if you feel like you get discriminated against, you should just give up because there are legitimate cases where someone's being discriminated against, but, like, I don't think not hiring someone because of their weight can even be, like, discrimination, because if you do hire them and they do poorly at their job, because obviously they would, you're just gonna fire them anyways. Like, it's not just a prejudice that someone has, it's like they know what will happen.
Yeah.
Everyone knows what will happen, but apparently it's now their God-given right to be obese and ruin everything.
I mean, somebody mentioned it before, like, if you had obese firefighters or police officers and stuff like that, like, at what point
Mhm.
would it endanger the public? Would it
Exactly.
endanger your company or endanger other people that, if somebody needed to, I don't know, call 911 because their house is on fire, and then you have some fat firefighter trying to lug himself and pulling his pants up because they're falling down around him or whatever. It's like, I just had a funny scene in my head of a fat firefighter not even able to keep his straps on. But,
Yeah,
but
definitely. My uncle and my grandpa are my grandpa was and my uncle is a fire chief, and they're both, like, very physically fit people, and my grandpa's, like, an older guy, and he's still pretty fit. Um, I think during COVID, he, like, walked, like, 50 miles with his dog in a week or something, but, those physically demanding jobs are physically demanding for a reason.
mhm.
And also, now that you, like, open the door to that conversation, I'm thinking of, like, if someone, like, a 500-pound dude tried to join the military, there are weight limits. Like, he would have to lose weight before they even considered letting him in, and that's for a good reason, you know? He's just a bigger target out there.
Yeah,
So
there's a TEDx talks that I was thinking about reacting to. I don't know if I'll do it, but it's from, one of the top military people saying that obesity is a national security risk because it's
mhm.
like, how are we going to be able to defend ourselves with so many fat people who would not be able to join the military? And they're starting to lessen their standards across the board because they just can't find too many people who are physically fit to join anymore. It's
Yeah,
just it's a
yeah.
scary thing.
Um, yeah, for me, I don't think I'm around as many obese people, but I think that's mostly because I just live in one of the most healthy states in America. Because Colorado, everyone's very active. Like, at my school especially, most guys spend, like, 3 to 4 hours at the gym every single day, and then girls, I'm pretty sure, spend, like, maybe an hour to 2 hours, but I don't know, just for me, like, all of this happening is, like, all outside my state. So I
Thank
don't
you,
know
Billy
why I
Joe.
said that.
I appreciate that $1.99. I'm so grateful for you for sending that. Thank you. You do have a lot of professionals in your family. You have a lawyer, you have a doctor, you have a fire chief. Like, what else is in your family?
Nurse, I had a military uncle, but he's retired. Uh, yeah, that's I'm trying to think if there's anyone else. Hmm, I don't know if I have much more, but my mom is, like, she's had a few jobs before, but and they were pretty professional, but, they weren't, like, a career or something, it was just a job.
Brunk Dartender has a good point here. I haven't heard of any tall people complain about airline seating, even though it's uncomfortable for them.
Yeah,
Ban
because they deal
ceiling
with it.
fans for the talls.
They deal with it, and also society mostly likes tall people. Like, I get made fun of all the time because I'm like, pretty short, and I'm not even pretty short. All my friends are just freakishly tall because 'cause I'm friends with a lot of guys. Guys are naturally taller. My boyfriend's, like, 6'2", I'm 5'3". So, uh, 5'3" is, like, I think 5'4" is the average height for a girl.
Keep telling yourself that.
It is! Or it's close to, but all I'm saying is I am, like, an inch below the average, but all my friends are, like, s almost 6 foot or over 6 foot, so they can't call me short because they're just tall. So I get body shamed, okay? And it's my height, and I can't change anything about it.
I would never shame you for your height, though.
You just did.
Even though your boyfriend probably throws his back out every time he bends down to hug you or something, you know.
Yeah, it's okay though. Yeah, I don't need to buy a ladder because my car is really low to the ground though, so I feel like that just makes me look a lot shorter because I can fit in it pretty well.
But yeah, that's a really good point about tall people, though. It's like when you have people who are genuinely not average, whether you're taller or shorter or whatever, you know, and you're unable to do anything about it. It's like you don't hear them complaining too much about the things, but
Mhm.
it's usually the people who can change who are fighting this great fight to advance their size or whatever it is they're trying to advance. It's like it's absolutely crazy. It's like instead of changing, they're like, we're going to change society. We're going to make it easier for us instead of doing things that we can do to make it easier for everybody else. Like nobody wants to sit next to a fat person on a plane. Just nobody does.
Yeah, what
It's
I
just,
like to say oh, sorry, you can finish.
no, go ahead.
Well, I like to say because 'cause I've reacted to a few things with the airplane petition by JB Official, whatever her name is, I don't know, she's really forgettable, but, oh, wow, you just got 20 bucks, Big T.
Thanks, Jen. I really appreciate that. That's a huge lifesaver for me. Appreciate that.
Now he's worth 20 bucks, but, um, I wanted to say that airplanes aren't comfortable for anyone of any size, okay? They're not meant to be comfortable, they are meant to be efficient. That's
Yeah.
all they care about. They've actually condensed the size of cabins over the last few years, so it's smaller for everyone, and I know, yeah, your feelings might get hurt if someone complains about you sitting next to them because, you're fat and you take up 3 seats of space, but that's also not their problem, okay? Like, just buy the extra seats, get over yourself if you're tired of it too, make a change and just move on with your life, okay? And also, you're not on a plane your whole life. If you can stand to be uncomfortable for that amount of time, then you should be able to stand the discomfort of losing weight.
Hmm.
And it's pretty much for free.
I appreciate that, Billy Joe. I don't know if I got your email or not. I haven't looked today. I don't know when you sent it, but um, if it's not there, if I don't respond to you today, then send me another one because I might not have gotten it. But I've been so freaking busy lately. I haven't checking my emails. I haven't even been on my Discord. So sorry about that. To everybody else who's been waiting for me to say something on Discord or something, or I haven't put any content up on Patreon. I've just been just really busy.
They always fly you first class, huh? Oh, the sugar daddy? Yeah. No, I don't have time for that. I'm too busy just doing nothing, I guess. I'm like a naturally kind of lazy person. So it doesn't take a lot for me to work out just because 'cause I've made a habit out of it, but I'd rather just chill and do nothing.
Raf, can you be my sugar daddy?
Oof. I think we got a little bit off track. So, anyways, what we're here to talk about, guys, I did watch a good video by Sam at Every Size, and she went over, the bill that was passed, and I like what she said about it because the person who, like, pushed this thing to be passed was that one girl, Fat Fab Feminist. She was, like, one of the main people that was a part of that, and Sam was saying that this bill just really boils down to Fat Fab Feminist being like, "I don't like it when people judge me," or something like that, and there was one other point, and I'm blanking on it, but it was a good point. But it's like, even though they did make this a law, it's not gonna change anything. Except for the fact that I can just sue you if I claim that you discriminated me against my weight.
I mean that's really where a lot of this is going to go. It's going to be discrimination if you can't fit a fat person on an airplane seat. It's going to be
Mhm,
discrimination if they can't fit on the subway or if they can't fit here or there. Like it's all going to like start leading up to lawsuits and things are going to be forced to change because what else is going to happen? People keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
mhm.
Like they're gonna have to make bigger desks at school for fat kids. I mean, it's just going to be a continuing growing problem, and that's not even a pun. Like it's going to keep
Well,
moving on and keep
you just
growing.
made it a pun. But no, yeah, that's the thing. It's like we just keep feeding the fire and we keep giving them what they want, which is the thing is, I've been like doing learning a lot about like the civil rights movement and how a movement starts and how it ends, and no movement's going to last forever. And I think me personally, I think that if the presidency changes, like if we go Republican again, I don't think this is I don't think that's gonna continue to be as easily won by fat people.
Yeah,
Not trying to get political, I'm just saying, I think it's likely that if we go Republican, that will happen.
yeah. The Republican side of things don't really care about all the, you know.
Yeah, exactly. They care more about guns than they do about, women's rights, though, so
uh, you're making it political,
I'm
Scout.
sorry, but okay, come on, like, have you seen how lenient they just got with, like, guns in Texas? It's I
No,
mean,
I
not a
haven't been paying
surprise.
attention.
It's not a surprise, but I'm not gonna get into it, I'm sorry. We're not gonna start a war zone in the chat. Okay, let's read some chats. Let's see.
Hi, Mental Maze. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. Appreciate you. Thank you, Jen. I'm glad you appreciate my message. Billy Joe, that's awesome that you were able to lose weight. But yeah, the airlines are part of the problem too because they do keep shrinking things. Like I understand that part. Like seats are getting smaller, the bathrooms are getting smaller, and that's because they keep losing more and more money. So what do? They keep putting more planes on the airline, and they learned they could make so many millions more dollars by cutting a few inches off the back or something like
Mhm.
that. So it's just they
Yeah,
are
but
making things smaller. I totally understand that. Um,
yeah, for sure. But
but
also,
but
it's making it smaller for everyone, not just
yeah,
fat people.
but to demand that they give you free seats because you take up four of them, I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Because those lost 4 seats are gonna probably up the price by at least, like, 100, $200 for everyone, and so, how about, like, what if you have a thin spouse? Because, a lot of fat people will go on the internet and be like, thin people get mad because I have an attractive thin spouse or something. Well, now your spouse has to pay double the price for a plane seat because you take up 5 of them. So it's still more expensive for you.
All right, so on part of this article, it says body discrimination denies people necessary, even life saving medical treatment, contributes to financial inequality, and creates serious mental health challenges. So I don't know how body discrimination does that, but don't these people realize that there are limits to medical science, that if you become too overweight that you cannot do a certain amount of jobs that cut you off from being able to work most jobs are on your feet type jobs. There aren't too many jobs like mine where you're sitting in an office all day working on a computer. Most of the jobs are on your feet, so if you're too big and you can't work on your feet, not only are you not going to get that promotion you think you deserve, but you're probably not going to get most of those types of jobs. So you're already cutting yourself off for the majority of the jobs that are out there. And especially if the economy is bad, like that's even worse. Um, and the mental health challenges, like if you're overweight, that's a good sign that you are battling some type of mental health challenge that you need to seek help and treatment for before it kills you, before you start eating too much food that you end up keeling over. I mean, I know that's not too sensitive, but it's just being 100% true. Like that's why my channel exists and what I'm trying to fight. Like most of it
Mhm.
is mental, and we've covered it in the last couple of videos that I've done. But Yeah, medical treatment, like, if you want more medical treatment, you're gonna have to lose weight because there are limits to what your doctor could do, and I talk about it all the time, how both my knees are blown out and shot, and my doctor won't even let me get an MRI because I won't fit in the freaking MRI machine, and even if I could, there's nothing they could do surgery-wise until I lose the weight, or else my knees aren't gonna recover. The financial inequality I've been facing for the last several years is because of my weight.
Mhm,
There's nothing else I could say about that. My weight is 100% a contributing factor, and I was mostly bedridden for almost 10 years now, but I now have a full-time job because I lost 200 pounds. So that's not some sort of, it's not a coincidence that I lost 200 pounds and I was able to get a full-time job finally after all these years. I mean, you can ask any of my friends and family just how much they've helped me out financially because I could not pay most of my bills. So they really helped me out big time, and I really owe a lot to a lot of my friends and family who've been helping me out. So the fact that I got a full time job, like they're all proud of me, and they see what I've been able to do and the accomplishments that I've had in the last 6 months or so, getting weight loss surgery, losing this weight, getting up, getting active, and doing the things that I haven't done in so many years. Like every pound that you lose really helps you out and it really changes everything from the way you feel to the way you look, how you feel mentally, your the way you feel about yourself, your self-esteem, all that stuff changes. What has been your experience?
so, honestly, I never hit, like, above, the point where my weight didn't start with 1, but for me, I used to be really I think I was my most insecure about my weight when I was in middle school. That I wasn't my heaviest, but I was, like, still heavier. Um, but then I kind of let myself go, and I just decided, "You know what? I'm gonna get over it. There's nothing I can do about it." Because I wasn't very educated in, like, weight loss or anything. And so throughout high school, I was pretty okay with myself, like, sometimes I would see other girls, like, wearing bikinis or blah, 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 and be like, "Oh, I wish I could look good in that." But after I was already training, like, doing, um, personal training by the time I hit my breaking point, and then I learned about the nutrition part of losing weight, and I feel great right now, like, I looked it up, and I'm at about 140, and, for my height, a healthy weight is, like, around 110 or something to 140, so I'm finally, like, in that healthy weight range for my height, roughly. So, I'm about halfway to where I wanna be, but I already feel a lot better. Like, my moods are a lot better, my energy is a lot better, I'm not as hungry as often, and I am in the habit of working out, so I am prolonging my life.
So your moods used to be worse?
Ye I feel like that's a little bit of a relative thing
Just
because
teasing you.
I know. Just to make it clear, I bet most of that was also due to the fact that because like, puberty and all that, and,
Yeah.
high school doesn't put you in the best mood, but I do feel, like, in a like, a better, higher place mentally.
And things are relaxing too as you get older, when it comes to that sort of thing.
Mhm,
Um, Hormones and all that stuff start settling down and
mhm.
um so Bonita has a good question here. What are your thoughts, or what are your feelings or thoughts about the majority of people eating so many processed foods these days? Do families cook their own food anymore and eat together around the table?
Hmm.
Did your family eat together?
Nah, not really. I think it's just because we're kind of all doing our own thing by the time any of us are hungry.
Mm-hmm.
But throughout the summer, we usually spend a lot more time eating together because 'cause we're doing nothing most of the day. But, yeah, like, during the school year, my dad's usually at work. He has a very time-consuming job. My mom is makes herself pretty busy, and my sisters both have different things that they're doing during different days of the week. So most of the time, we're all over the place. When we have the chance, we'll sit down and eat dinner, and we'll have company and eat dinner together on Sundays, like, every week, so there's that.
Yeah.
And my to answer the other half of that question, my mom is a really good cook, and she cooks for us all the time, like, it is, like, almost it's pretty rare that we would ever go out and eat for, like, dinner. We go out and eat lunch pretty often, but it's nothing, like, crazy.
I just want to say, Billy Joe, you said even now the doctors want to do surgery now for the loose skin. I'm going to do it with exercise. There's a pretty good chance you won't be able to get your skin to tighten up with exercise. And some of it has to do with age, some of it has to do with how big you might have been. I know obese to beast, he's been struggling with loose skin for many years, and sometimes it does not retract, it does not go back without surgery. So I mean, you're more than welcome to try it and see if it does. But from my experience, the vast majority of people who are pretty big and lost a lot of weight, their skin does not retract. It does not go back. Again, it depends on how much weight you lost. If we're talking 20 pounds here, then maybe. But if
Mhm,
you were 100, 200 pounds overweight or more, the odds are that it's not going to go back on its own. It can. Some people, it does, and it has, but the vast majority of people don't. And I'm sorry to say that. But looking at some more comments here. But great job on losing that amount of weight though. Like that was awesome. You definitely saved your life by doing that.
thank you. I'm not as good as you though, because you've lost more than my own body weight at my highest, all by yourself,
I
which
probably
is pretty
lost
cool.
more last month than you have your whole time.
Oh, I've only lost, like, 30 pounds.
But but yeah. I mean just being at your age and just realizing what you needed to do. I mean, and being influenced by the fat influencers too. Like
Mhm.
you probably could have gone that route and just didn't.
Yeah, I feel like for me, when I got exposed to that, it wasn't really, um, making me feel like I need to prove that I'm, like, fine the way I am. I'm just like, "Oh, I am fine the way I am, that's okay," and I just minded my own business. I wasn't, like, an unapologetically fat, "If you don't like me because I'm fat, then you're fat phobic," like, I was never like that, but it just made me feel more confident, and I think that's what sucks a lot of young girls in is just if they say it's okay and they are not afraid to show off their fat bodies, then it must be, socially acceptable at this point, right? And it's not like you're gonna go up to someone in public who's, like, fat in a bikini laying on the beach and, like, start telling them they need to lose weight because they didn't ask for that, you know? That's rude. Don't do
Yeah.
that.
No, it's not a problem, Billy Joe. We really like interaction here, so you're totally fine.
Yeah, we
Hi,
it's
Hardly
kinda
Dan.
need it. People
Much
apologize for, like
respect. Oh, go
huh?
ahead.
I was just gonna say people have apologized to me for commenting too much. I'm like, "Guys, it literally helps me out. Please comment more than you should."
Yeah, comment, like, share, do all that stuff. We got 19 likes, so like this chat. I don't know how much longer we'll be on. Scout's got another final tomorrow, and I'm exhausted, so um, but we'll definitely do better next time. Like I said, we both got a lot going on right now, so sorry if we seem a little more not as hyper as we usually are.
One sec.
Yep.
God, need us. Okay.
So what's
I
everybody's
heard
plan
you.
for Memorial Day weekend? What are you guys doing? Anything interesting going on?
Okay, sorry about that. My dad's just yelling for me because it's time to eat dinner, but I just ate, so I'm not that hungry.
What's for dinner tonight?
Greek food. I will go eat, but I'm not gonna do that right now.
I love Greek food.
It's my favorite. It's hard to lose. Yeah, I think one of the hardest things is patience when it's coming to losing weight because I didn't start to see a lot of a difference until I probably saw on the scale that I lost, like, 30 pounds.
Yeah, 30 pounds for some people is just huge. Like,
Yeah.
there's no point in comparing it to my weight loss. I mean, it's 30
Oh, yeah.
pounds is great, like,
Yeah, like, if you're talking about it relatively, you could lose that in, like, a day, honestly. I mean, maybe not a day, but, like, a month. You could lose that in a month.
I
It took
would
me
die.
yeah, it took me, like, probably since September to lose that amount of weight, but
I almost dropped my
I
phone again. Trying to
I
get it
could've
right.
I could've been losing more at this point, but I'm going back up to maintenance because I stopped losing weight 'cause, my deficit was so low. My body was just holding on to the nutrients. So now I'm slowly going back up to maintenance, and once I'm there for a couple months, I'll go back down, blah, 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 boring stuff.
Let's face
Oh,
it, you
thank
got a
you.
boyfriend, and so you stopped caring about your weight.
No.
You stopped
No.
working out, come on.
Nope, not true. I worked out today. You lost over 160, that's crazy. Yeah, that sounds so cool. So cool,
That's
so
awesome,
great.
mental.
Yeah. I think my goal right now is, like, 120, 115. I just wanna be on the lower end of what's healthy for my weight. Mm. I'm doing it more for the aesthetics than just health, because 'cause I'm at the point where I'm pretty much good. I still wanna be on the not the higher end of a healthy weight.
Yeah. The scale has stopped for me, but it's my fault. I haven't been doing so well. I'm working on it though. I'm trying to figure out how to I need to sleep more. I'm not used to having to go to bed so early so I can wake up early and go to work, and I haven't been planning my meals out the right way like I need to be doing. I'm just not used to that yet. So
Mhm.
we've
Yeah.
been like ordering out a lot and stuff at work, and I've just been like going in with it because I'm like I don't got nothing. I don't have no food, and I haven't been shopping or anything. So
I think for me, I got really fixated on the numbers, like, both, measuring my food and the scale, and then I took 2 like, a week or 2 off of that, like, I went on vacation. I still was, like, pretty careful about my food, but I didn't measure, I didn't worry about what I weighed. I was just trying to enjoy my time with my grandparents, and I came home after that time, and I had lost weight. And I didn't, like, really stick to it very well, but I still lost weight, and so that kinda taught me, look, you don't have to rely on being strict, because you can still lose the weight. You just kinda have to put a little trust in yourself, because eventually, someday, you're gonna have to trust yourself to make judgments about your food without having to weigh it, because you don't wanna weigh your food the rest of your life,
yeah,
and I guess you just have to decide on the point where you feel like you're good, like, you're done losing weight, you feel healthy, you feel really good in your skin, and then you just have to learn how to, manage that without going over, and your weight will fluctuate the rest of your life. Some days you
yeah.
might be 5 or 10 pounds heavier. I know for me that's gonna happen because when a girl gets on her period, she weighs, like, at least, like, 5 to 10 pounds heavier because of all that fluid. So, when I'm on my time of month, I don't usually weigh myself because
I mean,
it'll be inaccurate.
yeah, I think it's very common to have weight fluctuations throughout the year. Winter, you put on a little bit, especially on the holidays and you're inside and whatever. Summer, you tend to lose it more quickly. Like there's going to be fluctuations, like you said, time of the month, what you're eating.
Mhm.
Um,
Going
you
out
might
with
find
people.
yeah, going out, like, you're not gonna, like, stick to your diet when you're going out with people. It's just very,
Mhm,
very rare that that's gonna happen. So, I mean, even if you have the best intentions, you're gonna slip up, you're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna maybe eat too many carbs, you're gonna eat something that you think is healthy, but you find out after you ate it that it's packed full of sugar. Like, all that stuff's gonna happen, and you just
mhm,
can't beat yourself up over it. You're just gonna have to realize that life is life, things get in the way, and as long as you keep, being intuitive about what you're eating and you try and you keep trying and you don't give up on it, like you will ultimately be successful. And you have to allow yourself moments because our society is just full of eating, and we tend to run to food when we celebrate, when we are sad. If somebody dies, and you're gonna realize you get a lot of casseroles and a lot of people, bringing you food and stuff like
Mhm.
that, like when my dad died, like that's just is gonna happen. So food is a huge part of our culture, and you're not going to be able to escape it.
Yeah, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I just think
Mm-mm.
it's really natural for humans because food brings people together, you know?
Yep.
And it's a very, very important part of our culture. It's also in part a very important part of our just our country's infrastructure as a whole, because if you think about it economically, us producing all of our cows, which contributes to a lot of global warming, climate change, blah blah blah. But that like all of our agriculture is just a huge part of um also like international trade as well. So like relations with other countries rely on it. It's just like you can't have society without it revolving a lot around food, and not even just like fast food, even though that makes a lot of money. It's just like grocery stores, you got just fast food, you got all these things, like ranches, farms, like because crops too, not just animals, crops. It creates a lot of problems, but it also creates a lot of benefits. You can't really, you just have to find a balance. And right now we are not balanced.
I mean, yeah, I mean, going back to that processed food question, if you go to any grocery store, whether it's a huge shopping center or a small store, the vast majority of the store is
Yeah?
processed.
What? I know, I heard. Tonight? Okay, sorry.
So what I was saying is that the vast majority of grocery stores, and we learned about it in high school actually. It's called the power of perimeter. So if you stay around the perimeter, that's where most of the healthy vegetables are. That's where the meat counter is. That's where you should stick. But everything else in the center of the store is processed and garbage and frozen food and things you shouldn't be eating. So I mean, you can't even escape it. If you can walk past it down by every end cap, there's food and donuts and treats and milk and whatever. When you go into the when you check out, you go to the checkout line. There's every candy bar right there. I
Mhm.
mean, it's meant to get you to impulse buy all that stuff.
Yeah. Yes, very true. Sorry, I just keep getting distracted by all these chats.
Do you need to go?
No.
Your family's
Ooh,
like, who
Billy
are you
Joe lives in
talking to?
Ohio. Yeah, I do drink like a soda every day, but it's diet. And I know people are gonna say, "Oh my gosh, that's like even worse for you because of all the chemicals," but I'm not getting fat over it, so you know what? It's a different kind of disease. Okay? I don't care. I still drink more water, so get over it.
Billy
It's
Joe,
fine.
I had respect for you until you said you're from Ohio.
I
Um,
already made that joke.
Go blue.
Down in Ohio. Sorry. Uh, yeah, it's a lot of different moving parts with food. Um, I don't think you're ever gonna be able to get rid of fast food for one, because it's just like probably one of the biggest money makers um in the food industry. I know we have like restaurants too. We have restaurants, we have everything we already said before, but for the most part, I think that fast food's here to stay. I think it just our future depends on what people will do about it, you know,
yeah.
with their own lives. Because we're never going to get rid of fat people at this point. I just think we should try to not make our reality by sorry, I have a family. Family's failing. But um I just lost my train of thought. I don't want the future to be everybody's fat because then we're vulnerable, then bad things will happen. So, I think we all just need to be responsible for ourselves. We don't need to go
Yeah.
attacking people over the internet who are like, even the fat acceptance people, I don't think attacking them is helping anyone, that's just fueling their rage and their misery. I think they'll either die or come to a breaking point at some point in their lives. So, that's their own choice. So, really, our futures just depends on what you choose to do about yourself.
Yeah, I mean that's absolutely true. I mean it's really difficult, and it seems like they're fighting so hard for the right to be fat. And there are very few of us standing up against it. And I still get a lot of comments from people like, "Just let them be, like, let them be fat. Like, why do you care?" I'm like, "If they want to be fat, they can be fat." But I'm
Mhm.
gonna like counter it. Like, we need the right information to be out there.
Yeah,
You know, it's like
exactly.
they're spouting all these lies, and they are lies, and many of them know that they're lies, but they
Yep.
keep holding on to it like it's a security blanket, and they refuse to let go of it. So it's like
Yes.
we have an important job to do because like kids are dying now, and we covered that in my last chat.
Mhm.
Like kids are dying.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like if you I don't even think saying if you wanna be fat, you can be fat. Like, yeah, sure. But when it comes to kids, they can't just be fat. That's when you have to start stepping in and changing something about it because they can't change it without your help. And for me, it was a bit of a special case because my parents did try, but they would never come out and say, like, "You're unhealthy, you need to make a change." Because they've always been very active people, and I was not always healthy or active. I had a very sentient lifestyle, but they finally just told me, "You are going to start personal training this summer." And I kicked, I screamed, I didn't wanna do it. It made me feel embarrassed. I just didn't like the idea of working out at all, but they made me do it, and that's what, like, helped me to start getting into the habit of being healthy. So, really, if you're a kid, it's up to your parents, even if they have to force you. And I don't think it's abuse to give your kid a swift kick in the butt because I wasn't, like, a little kid, I was a teenager. So I needed to get a grip, you know?
Yep. Yeah, I mean that's a lot of parents don't know what to do, and it seems like more and more these days parents are just letting kids do whatever the hell they want to do.
Yeah,
And
not my
eat
mom.
whatever they wanna eat, you know? It's just
Mhm.
it's crazy. But I think we'll let it go here, guys. Like I said earlier, we're both very tired, and I've had a long day, Scout's had a long day, and she's got another final tomorrow. So, yeah, this went on for about an hour, so that's pretty good, and like I said, next time we'll be more refreshed, and we'll get, Ranty Scout back, and
'Cause that's what people like when I'm just
yeah.
angry, when I'm triggered.
Yeah,
I tried today. Just
you
nothing
tried.
particularly made me that angry. You gotta find something that you know is gonna make me that angry. That's what you have to do. You have to cater to me.
Do you have another video coming out soon?
Me? Yeah. I kind of hit a roadblock because I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I decided I'm probably gonna make another video on Marissa Matthews because I only made it like one of them. I was like, oh, that she makes me really mad. I just need to make myself really mad, but because that's what people like. But I just it had been a while since I'd covered her, so I think I'm gonna do a Marissa Matthews video sometime next week, most likely, and it'll be great because tomorrow's my last day of school. I have one more final tomorrow, and then I'm gonna start my work. So probably Friday I will do something, but it'll
Sweet.
probably come out next week. But I'm gonna try to make my videos more than once a week. We'll see. It just takes me a while to edit because I try to be funny, and funny is quality, and quality takes forever to edit.
Sounds good. All right, everybody. We thank you for joining us today, and I hope you enjoyed our little chat here. Until next time, I love you guys. God bless you all.
Bye,
And
everyone.
yep. We will see you guys next time. Talk to you later. Bye bye.
Bye.